The T-virus provides a massive jolt both to cellular growth and to those trace electrical impulses. But quite simply, it reanimates the body. The subjects have the simplest of motor functions, perhaps a little memory, virtually no intelligence. They are driven by the basest of impulses, the most basic of needs. The need to feed.
Hey, what is going on, all my fellow godlies and Warframe enthusiasts around the world? This is Vance here to bring you yet another ReForged Warframe to go into the ReForged series. And I know what you're thinking, you're probably disappointed that it's not Mag or Limbo. I had announced earlier that we were going to be doing a Mag ReForged, and then there was some discussion about Limbo ReForged, but hear me out. Operation Plaguestar introduced the Hunter set, and the Hunter set primarily benefits the companion, which is the Helminth Charger. And this whole loadout is going to be made astronomically stronger due to the Hunter set. So let's just jump straight into it and cover these new mods, shall we? Effectively nothing has been changed here except for the inclusion of Hunter Adrenaline. This is going to replace Rage for every build in your Warframe collection. And why that is because it gets a 5% increase of damage converted into energy from the health. Rage only does 40% damage converted into energy. So if ever you find a Warframe that you can use Rage and Hunter Adrenaline on, you're going to receive a plus 85% conversion from damage onto health into energy for that Warframe. That's pretty incredible, and I think that it's one of the most useful Hunter mods for a Warframe. Scratch that, it's the most useful mod in any set for the Warframe. Now, as it stands, there's not been anything that has been changed for Nidus's build, and the same can be said about the Pox and the Firax Wraith. If you want to see the builds for either of these weapons, they are on the initial God Builds series for Nidus. Nothing has changed. Literally, these weapons haven't been touched at all. However, we are using a different primary. We're going to go with the normal Vectis now. And it's primarily because Vectis does pretty good slash. It does primarily an impact and puncture, but you're going to find that Hunter Munition, it applies 30% chance to apply slash status on an enemy who is struck by a critical hit. So this is going to be really good for any weapon regardless. It makes Opticore really viable. It's probably going to make Dread do really good, Rakta Serenos. I mean, anything you can fit this in, I would go over all of your primaries at this point and see if Hunter Munitions is going to benefit them positively. I would encourage that you hop into the Simulacrum and just test it out for yourself. Anything that can hit crit, try to see if you can incorporate this, if it's going to do more damage, because the usefulness that Hunter Munition bears is the fact that after it hits that critical hit and it procs that slash, it's going to make your enemies bleed out, which is going to increase your overall DPS. The most disappointing mod in this whole set is the status duration for Hunter Track. I have utterly never used status duration for anything, ever. It's just not needed. So, given the fact that we have to use it in order to get that set bonus of companions dealing 150% extra damage against enemies affected by slash, this is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed, because the status duration it's just not needed. Jumping straight into our companion build, the second most disappointing set mod here is going to be Hunter Command. Companions will attack nearest enemy affected by slash status. I suppose this could go really well if you were in high level content fighting level 100s to 150 and you spot like an Eximus. Proc them with slash and basically send your companions straight after them. But this is a double-edged sword because with the inclusion of all of these Hunter mods, your companion's going to be weaker. And since they're going to be weaker, they're probably going to go after this high value target and then go down themselves, which puts you in quite a pickle if you're going to try to revive your companion. So it's a double-edged sword. I don't really like Hunter Command, although I will say that it's not as bad as the status duration mod. Hunter Recovery is pretty useful here, actually. It does 30% companion lifesteal link, so in the event that you're using Life Strike or Healing Return, or you're just using it on Nidus or an Aros, it's going to do really, really well, especially for your companion. The Hunter Synergy is plus 30% critical link. Haven't really tested this out. What my hunch here is that it's going to benefit the companion with any crit weapons that you use. I can't imagine this being crit link for your Warframe. It's gotta have some relation to do with your weapons. It's unfortunate that Proboscis and Trample are powers that we have to include in the initial mod setup. If you remember a year or two ago, however long it's been, Digital Extremes actually worked the Warframe powers out of the mod setup, and I feel as though that's something they critically need to do now. They critically need to work these powers out of companion builds, that way we have 2 additional mod slots. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to benefit from Pack Leader and also Maul. I would love to be able to take out at least one of these mods for their powers so that I could incorporate Maul and receive the maximum damage output increase. Because right now this build is faltering, but we can't afford to take out anything else. We need Bite, we need Link Armor, we need Animal Instinct, we need Link Health, and we need Meta Pet Kit. However, if something's probably going to get sacrificed, it may be the Meta Pet Kit or the Proboscis. Proboscis does single target CC, it shoots that tongue out and drags enemies forward. However, if you're using Hunter Command on this setup, you're probably going to need the Proboscis because that's probably the strongest chance that your companion has against a high level threat or an HVT. So it's very, very unfortunate that the powers here are included in the mod setup instead of just being included by default. But who knows, it's Digital Extremes. Sometimes their logic catches up with the updates, and maybe they'll recognize this fault and address it at a later date. But for right now, this is the setup that we got, and if you're going to sacrifice anything, make sure you put Pack Leader or Maul back into your mod setup. That way you can get the absolute most out of the Hunter set. In short summary, I'm just going to provide that you're only as strong as your weakest link, and that goes for loadouts, that goes for teams, that goes for pretty much anything you're talking about in life. And considering the fact that we have made our companion a lot stronger with this setup, that means that our entire loadout is a lot stronger with Nidus. Not only is he a CQC champion, but now he's going to be a long distance warrior with the inclusion of the sniper. As always, do as I encourage you to do, smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and until next time, this has been Vance, signing out. Peace.